The opinions expressed in the following podcast are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security or investment product. It is only intended to provide education and entertainment about the financial industry and the stock market. Enjoy.
On today's episode of Pennies Going in Raw, we have stock Twitch streamer, stock YouTuber, and Furu, Rocket Catchin' Bob.
Hey, yo, check 1, 2. This is Flavor Flav in the building for the Atlas crew.
Atlas Trading, what the fuck is up?
There are traders, there are prodigies, and then there's legends.
We're on 4%, baby.
No way.
4 fucking percent.
Buy the fucking dip.
Hey, who told me about IDEX?
Like, dude, what the fuck? Like, someone just made, like, a lot more money than me on my trade.
You find out life's this game of pennies.
Did you check the portfolio?
Pennies. The margin for error is so small.
I bet Warren Buffett never did that.
And they out there making money right now off of penny stocks.
Them two guys is putting in work to make y'all rich.
The pennies we need are everywhere around us.
Time to think big.
Pennies Going in Raw.
Featuring Dan, Deity Dips, and Hugh Honey.
Produced by Vinny Strokes, baby.
Welcome back to another Pennies Going in Raw. Today is March 24th, 2021, and today's episode of Pennies Going in Raw is brought to you by Benzinga. Benzinga is our absolute favorite resource to use to trade with. We use it for charts and news and scanners. Look, guys, we use it for everything except for buying and selling stocks. I mean, that's all there is to it. And if you're not using Benzinga Pro, which you can get for 2 weeks free at pro.benzinga.com, that's pro.benzinga.com. You should at least be checking out their YouTube channel every single day, youtube.com/Benzinga. They have Hot Stocks Luke and a just plethora of fantastic guests, from me and Hugh to Mia Khalifa to Ripster to CEOs of companies to CEOs of Weeble. They have it all, guys. Make sure you check it out. That's youtube.com/Benzinga. And today we have on one of the best guys on FinTwit. He's all over the place now. You can catch him on Twitch streams and Twitter and Discords and just about anywhere. It's Rocket Catchin' Bob. Thank you for joining us, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, no problem. And thank you for joining us. We always kind of start with, you know, the way you started and then like where you came into your like aha moment and then how you elevated yourself to where you are now.
Ooh, that's actually a long-winded answer there.
Hey, man, the people want it. How about we'll cut into sessions? When did you start? Where did you start? Why did you start?
I started back in about 2017 trading. I kind of stumbled upon trading. I personally was in the grocery world and retail, trying to work my way up the corporate ladder. And
just like starting as sales associate and trying to work your way up to
I was a grocery clerk, so just stocked the shelves, nothing crazy. Personally, I had better experience, but there's a place called Publix in Florida, which is pretty big.
Love
you have
Publix.
to start from the bottom.
Yeah, we got Publix everywhere, man.
Yeah, I started at the bottom. I was trying to work my way up for about 2 years, and then I realized, hey, this isn't really going anywhere. So in the meantime that I was actually working there, I had some coworkers who actually were trading stocks on Robinhood, and I was kind of watching them and saying, wow, they're making a lot of money on like AMD and scalping and things like that. So I was just
and what year is this around?
2017.
2017, okay.
Yeah, so when I saw them kind of trading, I knew a little bit about the stock market, but I didn't know much. I was just trying to find a way to get out of the rat race and really find something I enjoyed doing. I always had a passion for, just really helping other people, and out of the love and trying to build relationships, I kind of stumbled upon the stock market with other people. And long story short, it comes down to there is no growth in the corporate world. So I ended up trying to learn more and dive into it by going on to Google or YouTube and learn more about trading myself.
And how was it starting out? Did you suck? Were you just losing all your money? And like, how much did you put in to kind of like start out with? And just how did that go?
Wow, that's I started with I think about 12,000 or somewhere around there. And,
this is all from Publix.
Well, yeah, I saved up. I'm very frugal, and I was just trying to bank up as much as I could. I was literally like buying and reselling things on like Craigslist or Facebook and things like that. Just
so
to try
you're
to
like
side
a hustler
hustle.
always, yeah.
Yeah. So whenever I got into actually trading, I actually made about 100% of my account in the first like 2 or 3 days. Like the first week, the market was hot, and after that I got hooked. That was the hook that got me stuck into trading. And I think a lot of people start off like that. Like most recent thing is kind of like GME. And they get hooked onto it, and then later on 2 or 3 weeks go by, and then that just fades out, and then I lost all of it. I was down 60% of my account because I was going all in at the time, just trying to bank all that money, and I was super excited about the market. I thought maybe I'd already figured it all out, and it was going to be easy.
That's awesome.
So you lose this money, and then I guess you're kind of edging into like a 2018 range. Where does it start to turn around?
Well, at that point where I actually lost my money, I was pretty depressed about it. I had to take like a whole week off because I didn't know what I was going to do, as far as what was next. Like, was I going to give up on trading? Was I going to go back into the grocery world and take more hours?
Had you quit work, or were you still working?
I actually stepped down like part-time at the time. So I was like really gung-ho, like, hey, I want to make this work. I am hooked on it. I believe in the future of it. So at that point, I just kind of bled my account for the next year, 2018. There was not really anything good. It was just like overall sideways / more bleeding, not figuring it out, struggle sauce, things like that. And I stumbled upon like some chat groups and Discords. One of the first ones that I'm known to be a part of was Ascend Trading. It was a really good group of people who I watched them trade, and I saw their tickers, and they're saying, hey, this ABCD or XYF, and it's worth watching or something like that. And I was like, what's WW? And they're like, worth watching. And I was like, okay, why are we watching that? I don't see anything here. Like, this thing is dipping down and dying and not looking great. And then, life goes on, and we kind of just try to figure out why they're playing things. You kind of put it in your side box and try to figure out what happens next. And you just kind of keep studying that over and over again every single day.
So you just kind of gradually more screen time day over day over your failures in 2018 to, I guess, starting to rebound in 2019, and then taking full advantage of the 2020 March dip.
Oh, of course. When it came down to the market getting really hot after, the market got pretty hot just in general. We had the whole Bitcoin craze. We had shippers. There's all kinds of different momentum sectors that had went. And that was kind of my bread and butter that got me started, kind of building my account back upward. So I really found one pattern I liked the most. And once that happened, I was able to utilize that certain technique or strategy to really bring my account back up to, like, say, break even / bringing it back to profit. And I became a lot more consistent that way. And I was a lot more at ease because I needed that money. Every little dollar mattered, I couldn't, afford to lose anything.
Yeah.
Were you withdrawing at this time too? Like to pay bills? I know you said you put in 12,000 from savings. I don't know if that was all of your savings, or how were you getting by at this time?
Yeah. All of that money was literally everything I had to my name. I was like, hey, I'm going for it. I want to make it work. I knew that I couldn't fail. And I think that was the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Or
and
I couldn't afford to fail.
Yeah, that's kind of the common theme that we've been hearing as we talk to more traders is that, we talked about it with PJ. Now you're saying it is that, one, you were a hustler, and two, you were going to make this work. And I love that about you. And I think one of the greatest attributes that you bring to the trading floor is your interaction with everyone and how you always have a positive attitude. Can you touch on, as a day trader, one of the things that I've been struggling with as trying to day trade more is seeing the realized losses, no matter how big. With day trading, I'm noticing that I'm taking more losses. Can you touch on how you kind of balance that, your emotions?
I mean, you come up with days where you just don't have a good one, of course, and you kind of have to just know that you played the best possible pattern that was there, and you gave it like you were in it for many reasons. Hey, did it have news? Did it have volume, momentum? Support and resistances were on your side, and whenever that it fails you, then when you take that loss, you feel like okay, you're kind of vindicated. You took a good shot at it, and you took your loss, and you moved on. So that's kind of how I live with mine. Now, if I made a bad trade, poor decision, then I'm writing down exactly why that happened, and I'm never doing it again.
Okay, so you're going over your trades almost daily?
Of course, yeah. I'm writing them down in a journal. I'm looking back at the charts. I'm seeing maybe what I didn't see before in hindsight 2020 that was, live action that's a little harder to see. And I'm just going to make sure I'm a little bit better tomorrow.
That's awesome.
So you've always kind of been more of a day trader, yeah?
Yes.
So one of the main reasons I like to day trade, I like to kind of min-max myself. I feel like if I'm swinging, if I'm not day trading that swing, I could be gaining more because of the pops and the drops that they have and, the intraday. Is that kind of a reason that you do it as well? And also, did PDT ever kind of get in the way? Because a lot of these newer guys seem to really have that issue. And obviously, as a day trader, it is something big. And like, how do you kind of get around that?
I mean, for me, I'm like 99% focused on day trading in general right now, just because the overall market seems to be kind of sluggish on these multi-day runners and things like that. So I like to be in cash anytime like this, but if the market gets really high, I definitely pivot and change that a little bit. As far as people in PDT, it's definitely a struggle. One of the things that I had that people don't utilize anymore was U-Stock U-Trade. That was like an offshore brokerage that you could basically day trade on, no matter if you had $1,000 or $5,000. I don't know if it's utilized now.
No, they got sued again yesterday by the SEC.
Oh, dear. So, I made my money and I got out of there, and I'm happy about that.
No, you're right. For anyone that doesn't know, what Bob's talking about is it used to be really great. It was a way to get around PDT. It was like offshore banking, but you didn't even need a real address offshores. So they actually just got sued for the 6th time or the 7th time inside the last 3 years for things that were happening in 2012 and 2013. So I don't actually think that those are viable, but that was an awesome way to get around PDT.
Yeah, and if I had to do it now, it has to be a whole different strategy where you have to split your account up into maybe
we always
3.
recommend, splitting it up or doing cash accounts. But you're seeing even now they're putting restrictions on cash accounts with like Webull has the good faith violations that seem so easy to break and stuff like that. And it does get more and more difficult, especially. Until just recently, I always thought, I don't think it's that big of a restriction for under 25K. But in this market, man, I can't imagine being restricted to 3.
No, not at all. I mean, I think it would be so tough just because, that's holding you back as it is. And you really have to learn to really maximize every trade you're taking. If that's a ascending triangle break or something like that, if you're playing momentum like I do. And you really have to make sure you're taking that, 10 to 15%, 25% if you get there, so you can try to, make that the most effective.
Damn, you're getting that
trade.
high? Shit, I'll take 5.
Yeah. Right. I mean, take whatever you want. I mean, if you're growing that account, that's all that matters.
Man, in this market, I'll take single digits, no doubt.
For sure.
So talking about your strategy, do you focus? I know you said that you used to focus on like 1 or 2 tickers at a time. Do you focus on 1 or 2 tickers per day? Do you kind of change it up where like in the morning you're looking at 4 or 5, and then by the afternoon you're only looking at 2? Can you kind of touch on your specific strategy?
Yeah, I mean, I start every morning by pretty much finding the top gainers, put them on my list, reading the news and what exactly they're up for, seeing if there's volume that's continuously coming in throughout the day. And I pretty much stick to maybe like 1 or 2 out of that top gainers list. And I really hone in on that. I try to see what social media is looking, where, Discord, where are people focused at. And then obviously for the biggest thing is what kind of patterns psychologically is it setting up? Are we about to like squeeze some bears? I love patterns, and that's really where I do so well at as a momentum trader, just waiting for that play to come to me.
That's awesome.
another thing I feel like with day trading, and you have to be so realistic. Hey, this is a loss. I've got to cut it. Hey, this is a gain. I need to realize this gain. Do you think kind of going straight from working at a grocery store to, and then just losing and then just turning out to be this successful in the way you have been and so fast, do you think that helped you a lot, just knowing the value of the dollar? Because I think a lot of times whenever I sell for a gain, I'm like, okay, this is $1,500. I have to realize like $1,500 is still $1,500. But if I lose money, I'm like, okay, I've just got to ignore that.
Of course it does. I mean, I come from a poor family, raised in like poverty and things like that. So just the little things like that, you look back and you say, you know what, my ramen chicken soup that I eat every day, even though I'm, pretty well off at this point, is still part of me. The people that were in the grocery store, now I know what they feel like every day. Yeah. It's something that I'm doing now. Like I've started my own stream and all that stuff and a YouTube now. I'm just trying to help these other people so they can get out of that rat race, so they can enjoy their lives, their kids, their families, and things like that. And I think that's what really drives me, is giving other people the chance to have financial freedom. And it's absolutely like my number one thing.
That's incredible.
With that, because I mean, it's been so evident that's been your main goal from day one. I mean, you preach it on Twitter, and it almost seems like, I mentioned it earlier, you're like all over the place now. Now you're on Twitch now, and I wish I had the will to do it. I've always thought like, man, whoever gets to Twitch first and just starts trading all day with a good personality, they'll be able to kill it. And I'm really happy it's you. Can you, and you're also starting a YouTube as well. Obviously this is for like helping people mainly, but what do you get out of like the Twitch streams? Are there some comments you get that are like, yeah, this is why I'm doing it? There's some gains or just stuff you want to talk about from like the Twitch stream, because I'm so interested in that.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of love messages. Thankfully, the trolls, not so much. Hopefully they don't come ever. But I mean, I really enjoy just seeing people's successes and seeing people leave their comments about how, they're trying to transition from their jobs into trading and how they're having successes doing it because of my stream. And because it's not just me, the people who are learning from me in the chat are sticking around all day. And they're actually putting in time with those other people within the chat. So I don't even have to be there, Yeah. And they're helping each other. And I think that's what builds my community to be better. It's just because they're also willing to give back and move other people forward. But I get lots of messages saying, I made $1,500, which is the most I've ever made in my life. Thank you so much. I was able to pay down like this debt or something like that. That's really been hanging over their heads, and psychologically that's affecting them. And, kind of being depressing, and anything like that to me is so worthwhile. I don't care about the subs. I don't care about the followers. I don't care about money like that. I don't care about the money I have. I just love the financial freedom that I have.
I talked about it with Zach. I mentioned how, like, I don't think there is another job or position or anything, even besides being like a surgeon. This, like, I can't imagine something that you could give back just as much as you receive as being like a trader and helping people.
Yeah. There's really no, as much as the trolls suck. And there's sometimes when things don't work out, when you're able to, see a pattern that you love and that you've seen before, and you're able to make other people money. There's nothing really, I mean, sometimes things that you don't call work so much better. But seeing that you're able to make other people money is just so gratifying. And that's that is so awesome that you do that Twitch stream. What is it? 5-6 hours a day?
Yeah.
That is
awesome. I'm sure you'll get a few more viewers after this airs. Cause I mean, everyone loves live stock talk. I mean, that's what people want. They want it. And they don't want it from the same people that have been on air for so long. And I mean, that it's such like a great benefit. Is there anything like, is there a certain call that you remember from the Twitch stream, or like a certain engagement that you really like, that really sticks out? But aside from just like the bill paying, but like, I just remember like certain things just always stick out.
I mean, I have so many messages.
Yeah.
It's just, more recently, IMTE, it's just that people are so happy to finally be getting it, and it's starting to click for them, I think is one of the bigger one. I mean, obviously there's a lot of great stories out there, but I love the consistency of the messages that I get of people changing, like being able to adapt my plan to their own and really learning what they should have been doing versus what they should not have been doing.
I can't wait till there's a clip of you from your chat room whenever you're in a stock that halts up and you just have that 15 minutes of anticipation and everything. That's going to be lit.
Of course.
That is really cool. What do you think as a trader? Because it's awesome when we hear these great stories. What is the most frustrating part?
Frustrating part of
just trading in general, like
losing money.
Yeah. I mean, there's losing money, but I mean, Bob, you come, even when something flushes, I think today, DLPN flushed on us and you're like, that was mean. And I was like, dude, I'm over here like cursing up a storm, ready to punch a hole in my wall. And you're, and you're still staying positive on it. So, what do you find to be the most frustrating? Is it just when you come and there's not something that works that you think is going to work? Or is it something completely unrelated? Like we've had people tell us that the most frustrating part is the timing, is, being on California time.
Well, I mean, I would say it like this. As far as frustration goes within the trades, it's always kind of unfortunate whenever you get in too early. Like I was in IMTE, I think yesterday, a little bit too early, somewhere like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I think TCAT was, leading the way and we just didn't get any push on it. So when you take that trade, and I know a lot of people are under PDT, so they don't have a lot of availability to make multiple trades a day.
There.
Right. So when they take this trade, because they see the same thing I do and it doesn't go, and then it's like, I'm sure that's very frustrating to them. And then later on, you see it actually pushes without you. Another thing, when I was a new trader, which was very frustrating, was basically whenever I would like sell the stock and then all of a sudden it would just take off. And that still happens to this day. So don't think it doesn't happen to, veteran traders or whatever you want to call me. But just in general, this is something that, can be frustrating.
That's the biggest thing that cannot be frustrating, because that creates FOMO, and FOMO is a mofo. And dude, I think that's like that was my biggest learning experience in trading at all, was not getting pissed off when I sell something for a profit and it just keeps going.
For sure. I'm a little frustrated right now. Look at DLPN.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's so many, man. There's so many. I mean, in my line, swing trading. I mean, it's like, man, dude, if I had just gone all in, or if I had just, scaled out half instead of scaling out all at that point, that's my biggest thing. I wait 6 weeks for something, and then it finally comes. And then I'm pissed because I sell 100% too early or something. So I definitely get that. But yours is obviously on a much, on a shorter time basis, which is awesome.
I guess like whenever you're day trading, we always talk about mentality. Obviously, Hugh was already touching on it, like staying positive and everything. Aside from just knowing, like, when you sell too early, like it can't bug you, because if it does, it'll create FOMO. Is there anything else you like to do? Like, if there's a terrible day, just going to play video games. If it's a bad week, maybe taking all of August off for all I care. Is there anything that you like to do that just like keeps you level-headed?
Yeah, there's tons of things I enjoy to do. I mean, I personally will take the whole day just to enjoy like a trivia night with the stream. We'll do some Jackbox games. I don't know if you know about that stuff, but it's a lot of fun to just take a step back from the market and just enjoy each other as a community. Anytime going out to the shooting range, things like that. If you guys are in, I do stuff like that. I'll go hiking, kayaking, anything outdoors. I'll just try to get away from the market for a little bit and just take a step back.
Prior to the whole Twitch streaming and everything, did you trade with other people like in a voice chat, or were you always lone wolf?
I was always just in the Atlas Discord.
Okay. Yeah, like, dude, one of my biggest things, like, I have like just 6 people I talk to, all like some of them have $5,000, some of them have $500,000, and it's just like a range of different people. And I think like I can't imagine trading without like a squad now, just because it's like once you get it. Yeah,
it's a huge thing for you too, because you're just learning off of each other. I mean, they say, I know there's like a book about this saying like you're kind of the average of the 5 people you hang around the most, kind of thing, as far as your salary is concerned. So if you're hanging around a bunch of rich people, you kind of pick up like their habits, their mentalities, some things like that.
That's so true. Do you do anything to celebrate a big win?
I wish I could say yes, but honestly, at this point, it's just as easy as going in and getting some like a pizza from a store. Like I don't really care too much, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm just enjoying what I got, and I'm just happy about the other people who are banking.
That's awesome.
It's really it.
That's awesome. It seems like travel is one of your passions.
I mean, I do travel from time to time. I'm trying to go into vacation, but with COVID, things have changed a lot. I used to travel and go to like Aspen, Colorado, things like that.
Yeah.
Snowboarding and things like that. Also, anything outdoors.
Do you still trade when you travel, or how does that work?
I personally would get in, like I'd bring a laptop, but when you go to the mountains, it's really hard to have consistent internet. You're playing with like 5 megs down, and it's just not as good as anything. So I will try to trade. Sometimes when I go down to the beach here in Tampa, like I will, personally trade on my phone, make my quick, $500,000 a day real quick, and then I'm done. I just enjoy the beach and that day.
That's awesome.
Okay. You have 2 little brothers. One has $5,000. The other has $30,000. They both turned 18. They're twins. Both of them entered the market at the same time, on their 18th birthday. What advice are you giving both of them? And is there any advice you give separately to PDT Golden Child?
I would say this: if you have $30K in your account, little brother, I would be like, hey, I want you to personally.
Hugh can be your the rich little brother. I'll be the poor one.
All right. So I would say, Hugh, my rich little brother, $30K you have. I would say, hey, I want you to trade with maybe 1,000 to 5,000 of that, and really get down the techniques. Do not trade with your whole account to begin learning to trade, because you could really just blow it up really easy. Okay. The reason I actually became who I am today is because I actually came from $1,000 after blowing it up. I actually reset my account and went to 1,000, learned how to trade correctly and consistently, and then get there for about 6 months, maybe 3 months of consistency. And then you can kind of edge up on your risk and all that stuff. And you can build your account that way. As far as Dan, my 5,000?
I have
5,000 little brother. Yeah. So for you, depending on what kind of variables we have out there, as far as the Weeble thing, split your account into maybe 2 or 3 pieces, and try to just, because then you're going to get 6 trades a week or a 5-day period instead of maybe if you split it into 2, right? So you just want to take it easy, get consistent. You really want to get the process down. That's the main importance. And both of them should be the same, right? For big brother, little brother, it doesn't matter. Learn the game first. Then once you get comfortable with it, you can start sizing up. You can turn 1,000 to 1 billion. You certainly can. You can turn 30,000 to 0 way quicker. Okay?
You can do it, Dan.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, metaphorical brothers.
Right.
So, obviously there's so much information to give these new guys, and it's crazy how so many of them joined with the whole GME fiasco. And I have a feeling like a lot of them either made a lot of money or lost a lot of money, but all the gamblers got addicted,
Of course.
Those are the ones that not only am I worried about, but I want to help the most. And I think they can get just as passionate and just as good as the rest of the gang. And I think like you said, learn the game, get your strategy down. And then once you know your strategy, let it take you there and let it take you home.
Agreed. It's totally why I made the Twitch and all that stuff that I did, because of GME.
Yeah, no, it's honestly a lot of blind people are looking for someone to follow, and we're here to turn the lights on for you, baby.
Right.
So you got a YouTube channel starting up. What's going to be on that?
I'm just going to try to really make laser focused content. That way you don't have to watch 6 hours of Twitch live video, and really kind of break it down to just, something for 5 to 10 minutes, maybe what a certain pattern is, or what are some top 10 things I look for every single day in the market. Also, I do some interviews myself on my stream. So I'll probably put some of those up there. Hey, I'm not in competition, guys. Don't worry. No, you guys are fantastic. I love you guys. You guys are doing a great job over here. And I love that you guys are also helping the community grow.
Oh, dude,
Well, I
I didn't
appreciate
even know
that,
we
man.
were helping out the community. We were just in this for sponsors, but no, it's super like it's like I said earlier. It's super rewarding. Just everyone like giving back, and like we're even trying to stop talking about more specific stocks and just talk about it in general, trying to help. Just because like, you know, with the whole like everyone's thinking everyone's a pumper, we'll be like, okay, we'll teach people the same way and still play the same way, and you know. I think like just giving any people any advice like they can get, you know, it's the same. You give a man a stock he eats for a day. You teach a man how to find stock he eats for life.
Amen to that.
All right, man. Well, we've had a blast having you on. Plug whatever you want. Tell the people where to find you, and let's have a green rest of the trading week.
Oh, you guys can find me wherever you know. No, I'm just kidding. If you want to find me, go to twitch.tv/RocketCatchinBob. It's just Catchin, so CATCHN. As far as YouTube, that whole URL thing is very like, I don't know, looks like a barcode, serial number, or alphabet soup. So I'm sure they'll figure it out
Get
from
there.
there. Yeah, no big deal. So thank you guys so much for having me on the stream. Loved it, guys.
All right. Thanks again, man. See you later.
See you, bro. All right, guys, that's it for Pennies Going in Raw this episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you guys did enjoy this or any of our other episodes, please give us those 5 stars. It helps us out a lot. Our next goal is to get 5,000 reviews. Isn't that crazy? I feel like we were just at 500. So thank you guys. Like, comment, tell us what you didn't like, and tell us how we can make this better or what you loved. Thank you guys. See you next week.